Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe and please leave a comment. In the last video, I went over Jacob's trouble. I showed that Jacob's trouble, the Great Tribulation, and the transatlantic slave trade were all the same event. Please watch that video first and pause and rewind if necessary. Now let's continue to read so we can be sure of what will happen next prophetically. Let's read Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he will be saved out of it. In this video, let's focus on the latter half of the verse. It says, he will be saved out of it. In other words, after Jacob's trouble, Jacob will be saved. Everyone will not be saved. The people who went through Jacob's trouble will be saved out of it. Let's find out how they will be saved. Let's read a little further. Verse 8. Jeremiah 30, verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Most High of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds. And strangers shall no more serve themselves of him, but they shall serve the Most High their Elohim, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob, says the Most High, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For this video, let's focus on I will save thee from afar, and thy children from the land of their captivity. The definition of captive: taken and held as, or as if a prisoner of war, of or relating to captive animals, held under control of another but having the appearance of independence, being such involuntary because of a situation that makes free choice or departure difficult. All these definitions apply to the children of the transatlantic slave trade. They also apply to the descendants of the victims of the conquistadors, but I will save that for other videos. To find out how the children of Jacob will be saved, we will compare Jeremiah 30 again with Luke 21 and Matthew 24. Remember, to understand the scriptures requires to match the pieces and put them together like a puzzle. As we put the pieces together, the picture will be filled in, and we can remove the confusion placed on us by others. Matthew 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Luke 21, 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring. Now let's invite Isaiah chapter 13, verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in its going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. We see that Isaiah, Luke, and Matthew are all talking about the same event. They are referring to the sun and the moon and the stars going dark. So now let's go to the top of Isaiah 13 to find out what the chapter is about. Isaiah 13, verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdom of nations gathered together. The Most High of hosts muster the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Most High and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Most High is at hand. It shall come from a destruction from the Almighty. So now we get a better picture of what Matthew and Luke are talking about. They are talking about a great war. After the tribulation, a great war. Not just any war, the greatest of all wars. For Jacob to be saved requires a war, not any war, the war of all wars. Isaiah 43:4. Since thou wast precious in my sight, and thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee, therefore I will give men for thee, and people for thy life. When it says I will give men for thee, and people for your life, means that many have to die for Israel to be saved. Sorry, it's hard to not get off track. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and all the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And let's compare that to Haggai. So we're going to compare that to Haggai chapter 2, verse 21. Speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth. Matthew says the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Luke says distress of nations. Haggai says the Most High will shake the heavens and the earth. They're all talking about the same event. Let's read further down on Haggai. Next verse, verse 2, chapter 22. And I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots, and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. Matthew, Luke, Isaiah, and Haggai are discussing a war after the tribulation or after Jacob's trouble. When Haggai says, I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdom of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots, and those that ride in them, and their horses, and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. When Haggai refers to the chariot, he's referring to the weapons of war. It's going to take one heck of a war to free Israel from their current state. Nonetheless, it's the next event to take place. Matthew says after the tribulation of those days, the war is next. The war could be tomorrow or years from now, but all should be preparing. Remember the 10 virgins. 5 were wise, 5 were foolish, 5 prepared, and 5 did not.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment down below.